Hi everyone, welcome back to Swiss Home Garden. Chitra here. In this video, I will be taking you along a garden tour, and along the way we will be also harvesting some of our perennials and some of the seasonals which we planted in winter. We will begin our tour from the main garden, which is across the creek. That is where we planted all vegetables. This is the potato patch which I shared in my last video. We have already earthed the soil a couple of times. My husband found this creature in our garden. This is a kind of lizard variety, and it's not really a snake. It's supposed to be eating up the slugs. Since this creature is around in our garden, we have less slugs. Here we are harvesting the spinach. This was long overdue. Due to the cold weather, we couldn't harvest all the spinach. They had already started to flower. Our friend who was visiting us was kind enough to help me, and he picked out only the leaves, and after that we had to pull out all the spinach. My husband is harvesting the leek. We had planted this leek late autumn last year, and somehow we didn't harvest them during the winter months. It was meant to be for winter vegetable, but they hadn't grown to an appropriate size. And here it's already a little bit too late, but it doesn't matter. I can still use these leeks for soups and also for making baked potatoes. I like to mix it up with baked potatoes, and it tastes delicious. This is our salad bed, and we had planted all these different varieties of lettuces during the month of February, and they are doing very well actually, and regularly we are able to harvest a few leaves for having a nice salad during midday. Here he is also removing out the excess weeds which are taking over the salad bed and leaving them aside, and we can compost them directly in the bed itself. These are some of the onions from our heirloom harvest last year. Some of them had already started to sprout end of winter, and we planted them. And as usual, we have our rhubarb harvest. Rhubarb is generally harvested between May to June, end of May to mid of June. And I have already shared a few recipes in my blog and this channel. I will leave the link below in the description box. I generally make a rhubarb ginger jam, and I also make rhubarb scones, sometimes rhubarb chutney, and also rhubarb sambar, and they're really delicious. And this is something we look forward to every year. Rhubarb is a rhizome, and you can just pluck it out, but the leaves are poisonous, so we will be cutting out the leaves and just using the stalks for all our preps. These are chives. We didn't plant these chives. They have been spread through the wind from last year, and we also have some of it in our herb garden. I'm regularly harvesting the chives, but they've already started to flower. This bush over here is our blueberry. This one is doing slightly better than the second bush because this has a little bit more water. And my husband is de-weeding. It was high time we started to de-weed. Our fairy garden is no more accessible, and our red currant bush is hidden in this. The berries are already there, but it has not yet ripened because these weeds have reduced the sunlight it was getting. I shot this video a couple of weeks back, and now they're slowly started to ripen as of now when I'm recording this voiceover. This bunch of plants are topinambur. I somehow didn't like the taste of this topinambur. I tried to cook them last winter, but I didn't like it so much. But the flowers are really pretty. This big tomato plant is this cherry tomatoes, and this along the border of the greenhouse are the cucumbers. I hope we can harvest quite a lot, and I can also ferment the cucumbers. And these smaller tomato plants are from our heirloom seeds. We got the big one from the garden center because we didn't have this particular cherry tomatoes which we can use for salads. And beside it is a chili plant. These red flowers are poppy flowers. Sometime back when we were de-weeding, we had removed all of it and they didn't come for a couple of years. But this year they are back. We planted some of the summer flowers and some geraniums. Our rose bushes have done very well after trimming and regular fertilizing. I have already made rose petal jam, rose water, and I plan to make a few more cosmetics with this. This is our red currant bush. We can finally get to it after clearing up all the weeds which were covering it. Few of them are slowly starting to ripen. Red currants are generally ripe for harvest after the June of 21st. This year we had a very cold summer, so they are all a little bit delayed. Maybe a couple of weeks later we could harvest them. This is our strawberry bed, and we are harvesting quite a bit of strawberries, but this year they are late and there's not that much of an yield out of it because this is the 4th year of our strawberry. Soon it's time to change the plants. I shot this video on 2 different occasions. This is the potato patch, and you can see they are already grown to a certain height and we do not need to be earthing the plant anymore. So we will wait for it to bloom and then the plant to die out, and then we can harvest the potatoes. Here he's picking some salad leaves for our lunch. On this day, even I was working with him in the garden by clearing the beds after harvesting all the spinach so we can plant new vegetables for autumn. With this, harvest and a short tour of a garden, I'm ending this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe. I post one new video every week on food from scratch, Swiss country living, gardening and natural recipes. See you in my next video. Bye bye.